Good afternoon, friends. Moms, have you ever been asked that question by your younger children? Mommy, are you going to have another baby? Well, I sure was. About 4 years ago, I was asked that question by our then 4-year-old son. It was a day I will not forget because the answer was no, and I'm going to share that story with you all today. So moms, if you're joining, please share this with your friends because I'm going to share actually over the course of the next few days my story, my struggles of how I have shifted in my mindset, in my thinking in the last few years, going from my 30s to my 40s. Hi, Carolyn. I'm talking about that question I got about 4 years ago from my 4-year-old son. What I'd like to do is fill you in a little bit on bringing you up to date. My 30s were spent raising kids. They were busy days. They were full of diapers, they were full of naps and car seats and ear infections. I was the master excuse maker. For years, I would exercise inconsistently. I would run a few times a week, a few miles. Sometimes I literally ran out the door the moment that Craig got home, but I was inconsistent. And there were times when we paid for a gym membership. There were times we couldn't afford a gym membership. But when we did, we would pay anywhere from $60 to $80 a month for our gym membership. And I would go a few times a week, maybe a handful of times a month sometimes. And there was the prep time to get there. And there was crazy kids trying to get them out of the house in the car seat. There was child watch, which was very convenient because I needed somebody to watch my kids while I exercised. Only then I would get pulled out of my workout because one of them had a poopy diaper. Or I would feel torn leaving a screaming kid who didn't want to go to child watch while I worked out. So half the time I wouldn't go, and I just was fed up. Right, moms? Can you tell me that you relate to this story? My system wasn't working. And it was frustrating, and it was expensive, and it was time consuming. That whole process was time consuming, and it wasn't working. And I was grumpy and tired, and I didn't feel good about myself. And then that one day, during the nighttime routine, when we're in the bathroom and we're brushing teeth, and my 4-year-old son is giving me a hug, and his little head is right about my belly height, and he patted me on the belly, and he said, "Mommy, are you having another baby?" And the answer was no, because we had closed up that shop. I didn't know what to say. But that was like the wake-up call. Well, I mean, obviously told him no, we are not having another baby. But at that point, I realized my system wasn't working. I wasn't feeling good about myself. And the fact that my 4-year-old son thought that I was having another baby was upsetting to me. I wasn't strong. And that was the beginning of the shift that started to happen in my life. I needed to get a new system. And I will tell you today that I feel so much better in my 40s than I did in my 30s. So for one thing, moms who have little ones, I will tell you it gets better. I don't need child watch anymore. My kids are in school. But I wish I would have known that there were other options back then. I now have the ability to work out any time of day, to any type of exercise that I want to. I have schedules to follow. I have my own team of personal trainers that I have access to in my living room. I run now regularly, and I feel much better. I am saving time, I am saving money, and I feel better. And my son, though he's older, now knows but that we're not having more children, but he doesn't ask me that anymore. I would love to share this wonderful feeling with all of you. If you have questions about the tools that I use, about the shift that I have made in my life and my mindset to help me overcome these excuses, please send me a direct message today and we will talk today. And then stay tuned, because over the course of the next 4 or 5 days, I'm going to share with you a few more of my personal struggles and the shifts that have happened in my life as I transition from my 30s to my 40s. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to hear from you today.